Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is BobLyn, aka PabLoon, and we're back with another top 5 attack aircraft. Today, the Allies, we're taking a look at these fellas here. Man, they have some pretty busted up aircraft. We got rockets, bombs, 20 mils, the whole 9 yards. I mean, look at this. We even have a fighter in the first viewing here. The first picture you see is actually not even an attack aircraft. It's a fighter. That's how busted the Allied tech tree is. Their fighters have good enough weaponry to classify as attack planes. So, without further ado, let's jump right into it. Before that, guys, if you would click the like button or subscribe, I would really appreciate it. We're going to be dishing out all different types of content, as well as your usual vehicle gaming necessities. Let's get alright. Coming in at the number 5 spot, we have the Corsair, the AP-4C at battle rating 4. This beast here is actually not an attack plane, but honestly, you get 8 rockets. It might be a fighter, but this thing acts like a mini P-47. Along with that, you get two 20mm cannons that absolutely devastate planes and infantry, as well as some tanks. But the rockets are really the main deal here, and you can see there they just absolutely clear anything. Along with that, it is a fighter, so you can take on pretty much anything, BF-109s, even Japanese aircraft such as the Zero and the Ki-84 and the Ki-61. This thing is actually pretty darn good at turret fighting. One big downside is, if you're playing Pacific and it happens to be a map where there is an aircraft carrier, you're going to be taking off from those. And that is a big deterrent. You're going to be at low speed, low altitude, and easy pickings for enemy fighters. But in any other map, this thing is a devastating plane to bring out. I would even classify it as an attack aircraft, even though it is a fighter. It's kind of like the Focke-Wulf 189 D12 in the German video that is classed as an attack pilot, but it really is a fighter pilot. I love the Corsair. It's a beautiful aircraft. It's very, very well known from the war, and it had a huge impact on the Pacific campaign, specifically because of the fact that it could take on these Japanese fighters. So yeah, the number 5 spot here goes to the beautiful Corsair, and I urge you guys to try this thing out. Just look at it, baby. Come on. Rockets, guns, swept wings, it's awesome. Alright, now coming in at the number 4 spot, we have the A20G-25-M8. Well, basically an A20 medium bomber with 12 M8 rockets. This is my favorite version. There's also the one with the bombs, but I honestly feel like the amount of payload you get with 12 M8 rockets is crazy. I love this thing. The A20 is a kind of weird vehicle. It does overheat quickly, so you have to manage the engine, and its big metal bulkiness is kind of weird to fly. But with 12 rockets instead of bombs, I think this is well worth it. It's a nice aircraft, and even though it is a little bit weird sometimes, it does fly pretty easy, and I like flying it. Especially the gun that you see in the back is quite effective actually at shooting down towards the ground. So if you're feeling frisky, you can, tilt your aircraft to the side and fly in a circle above the battlefield and kind of like do AC-130 playstyles. You could also do paratrooper drops if you wanted to. The free-to-play paratroopers do have 3 crew members. I personally don't do it because, I don't know, I would like to have 4 or 5, but if you want to, you can do it. So yeah, there's that. There's not much else to say about the A20. It's a pretty easy target, so be careful out there. Make sure you have situational awareness. It is pretty easy to see behind you with this thing, but you could also just use your rear gunner. Make sure to mark your targets yourself. It's pretty easy to find tanks and such, and an M8 rocket is easy enough to hit. But unlike the P38, guys, remember this, unlike the P38, these are mounted on your wings, and they're mounted quite far out actually. These are big wings, so you have to take that into account when aiming them. But yeah, number 4 here, A20, beautiful aircraft as we eject out of there. Bye bye. Now, coming in at the number 3 spot, we have the Beaufighter Mark 10. At BR4, you get 4 20mm Hispano cannons, as well as 6 7.7mm MGs. You also get a rear gunner, of course, and 8 RP3 rockets. Now, what is an RP3 rocket? It is a 27 kilogram or 60 pound rocket, and you get 8 of those. It's a 3-inch, it's massive, and you just saw how much damage we did there. This was originally in the Tunisia campaign, and it was the last unlock, very, very last, level 30 or something, I think. And I honestly love this thing. It was my first really, you know, loved aircraft of the Allied tech tree. I like the P38, but this thing for me is the ultimate, you know, low BR. It's BR4, I know, but for me back then it was the low BR smasher. These rockets, along with so many 20 millimeters and 6 mini machine guns. I mean, they don't do a lot of damage, but 6 of them is quite a bit. It's just so fun. Now, the Beaufighter is tanky, but it's also very lumbering. It's a slow lumbering beast. It doesn't turn very fast, and it's not the best dogfighter. It's not a dogfighter at all. Just like the A20, you don't really need to necessarily dogfight, but if you find somebody who are unaware of you, or is unaware of you, you can definitely do a lot of damage. These 420 mils will shred pretty much any plane. But if a Zero or something like a BF-109 comes up against you, yeah, you're pretty messed up. Because the rear gunner is not that good. You don't get the best angles. You can't really move the gun that well. And to activate the AI gunner, you have to manipulate your plane in a weird way, making you an easy target. But if you just want to farm kills, this thing is nasty. So yeah, the Beaufighter makes it to the number 3 spot, just because a little bit of personal bias here. I just love the Beaufighter. I think also the name Beaufighter Mark 10. I mean, it just sounds cool, bro. The British know how to make some cool aircraft. I wish we had more British attack planes in the game. I don't have the Tempest yet, but I can't wait to get it one day. So yeah, number 3, the Beaufighter. Alright guys, coming in at the number 2 spot here, we have the P38 Lightning. Coming in at battle rating 2, unlocked very early on in the tech tree here, is an absolutely amazing attack aircraft. You get 6 M8 rockets as well as 20mm cannons and 50 caliber machine guns all mounted in your nose. The twin engine setup makes you able to fight both very agile and fast German fighters and Japanese aircraft. If you're fighting Japanese aircraft, your best strategy is just to climb. The Zero, for example, which is what you're going to meet at this battle rating, is not going to be able to climb with you. You just have to point your nose up and they will get baited into chasing. Once they start losing altitude and speed, you dive down upon them and shred them with your 20mm cannons. I use this thing all the way up to battle rating 5, and it's quite adept at killing either tanks, aircraft, or infantry. M8 rockets deal quite a bit of splash damage, and you just have to aim them, you know, a little bit up. The ballistics are kind of nice. You don't have to elevate too much in your shots, and you can dish out rockets from pretty far away, actually. Along with that, it's a very fast aircraft. I mean, you have 2 engines, so of course it's going to be a quick one. And it also turns very nicely. It's a light aircraft, I think. It seems like they, you know, skimped a bit on parts and such. And one thing I really love about this is when you look to your 6 o'clock or behind you, you have a almost 360 degree view. It's crazy how much you can see, and that's one of the absolute beauties of this. So if you're grinding out the Allied tech tree, guys, I think you should try out the P38. The amount of XP you can get with this thing is crazy. When I was grinding the Allied tech tree, this is how I played. I used the P38 and a bunch of infantry squads with rally points and grinded XP so quick because I could take out everything the battlefield, you know, put up against me. So yeah, the P38 deserves number 2 spot. There's no doubt about it. It's one of the best Allied aircraft. There is just one other aircraft that is, I mean, it's blatantly overpowered. It's the best aircraft in the entire game for attack, you know, close air support. So yeah, let's just get right into it. Alright, my friends, coming in at the number 1 spot, we have quite possibly the best aircraft in all of Enlisted, the P37D. This thing is an absolute monster and a source of so much sourness on the forums. Like Reddit and the Enlisted forums have so many salty players that hate this thing, especially infantry players, and I get it, dude. Like, this thing is disgusting. 10 HVAR rockets. I think it's like high velocity armor, whatever, something rockets. They're disgusting. And you have 10 of these along with a 500-pound bomb. That's about 260 kilograms. Plus 8 machine guns. It's disgusting. This thing is a good fighter. This thing is an amazing or the best attack aircraft in the whole game. And I absolutely love this thing. I think everybody who's played it knows what I'm talking about. There's just something about the P47 when you fly into attack point. You don't even need to think about where you want to shoot your, your ordnance. You just fire a bunch of rockets, saturate a whole area, and get 10, 15, maybe 20 kills. My highest is 42 I've gotten in one strafe, and that is in the Pacific, because in the Pacific you can spawn aircraft instantaneously. So if you're attacking and the Japanese are on an open objective, you can fire all your rockets and bombs and get the whole enemy team, basically. It's absolutely disgusting, and I love the P-47. Now, it's not my favorite aircraft in this game, but just because of the pure firepower of this thing and the fact that it also can dogfight quite a few of the German and Japanese fighters, it deserves the #1 spot. It's the by far best attack aircraft in the entire game, and the whole allied tech tree is, in my opinion, the best one. If you want to do close air support CAS via CAS rat, this is the tech tree for you. I absolutely think the P-47 is going to make you rethink how overpowered air support can actually be. You can stop a whole enemy push with just the press of a button a couple times, and holding down your machine gun button and pressing spacebar or whatever you drop your bomb with on console. It's too damn easy, man. It's too damn easy. Please add more attack aircraft, Gaijin or Darkflow. Please, we need more. I'm sorry, you guys, for playing infantry. I just love this. What can I say, bro? What can I say? I love aircraft. It's just so cool, man. So, I hope you enjoyed my list here of the top 5 allied attack aircraft. If you disagree with me or have some suggestions for your top 5, let me know in the comments. I would love to hear it, because there's quite a few actually in the allied tech tree, as well as the German and the Soviet one. Now, all we have to do is wait for Darkflow to buff Japan and give them some actual attack aircraft instead of what we have right now. So, I hope you guys enjoyed. My name has been BobLyn, aka PabLoon, and I am signing out. See you guys later.